Hey guys, what's up? It's Ben from UnitedQ. It's Wednesday, which means we've got another awesome podcast to help you get over hump day. Here's my co-host, Dan.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And we're brought to you by BBQ, BBQ Gourmet and Smokewood Shack, our awesome sponsors. BBQ is dedicated to providing you with quality smoking products with a top-notch service and free advice for beginners or pitmasters. You can find them on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram under BBQ Smokers. So if you're thinking about buying your first smoker or looking to upgrade or even pick up some epic accessories, check them out over at Max Barbecue. And BBQ Gourmet is devoted to promoting real barbecue and supplying the UK and Europe with top championship-winning barbecue rubs, sauces, marinades, accessories from the United States and around the world. You can find them on Twitter and online under BBQ Gourmet. Regardless of how you cook, whether it's on charcoal, wood, gas or electric, the real taste of summer can be yours all year round. And on today's show, we have Bobby Powers from Bloody Hell Hot Sauce. Hey, Bobby, you all right?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, we're
how's
really good,
going,
thanks.
boys?
Yeah, how's it going?
Good.
Great to have you on the show.
Yeah, this is great. I like to listen to you guys, and especially when I get mentioned, and I get mentioned a lot, so I appreciate that. Thanks.
Well, if you're going to keep making such an awesome hot sauce, you're going to keep getting mentioned. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a great genre to be in. Everybody's so friendly and helpful, actually. It's nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm sure loads of our listeners already know Bloody Hell Hot Sauce, but could you give us a quick rundown of who you are and what the business is?
Yeah, I'm from California originally. This is just a hobby that's kind of gone a little bit, crazy for a bit here. Normally I'm from the government kind of background of work through the national labs. That kind of brought me over to here, met my wife, and anyway, I started doing this as a hobby, and it's just a Caribbean-style sauce, basically, red habanero and green habanero, and then I throw in some chipotle to give it a kind of a smokiness. So, yeah, basically it started out with just being friends with Christian Stevenson and just kind of chit-chatting back and forth. Started sending some bottles back to cousins like I do every year as a hobby, and sent him a bottle, and he says, this is really good, you should maybe do something. But also I had it in a different kind of a skull bottle just for fun, and that kind of gave me the idea. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a very recognizable bottle, isn't it? As soon as you've seen it, you remember that hot sauce forever.
Yeah, I kind of say you buy it for the bottle at first. I don't blame you, but the next one I want you to buy for the sauce, So yeah, because I developed the sauce for like a British flavor. It's sweet, but it's hot, but it's not screaming hot.
Yeah, no, it's actually packed full of flavor. It's really, really nice. I always go on about this, and I always say it when I'm talking about hot sauces. You have the hot sauces you buy, and they just blow your head off. And for me, they're pretty pointless.
Yeah.
But then you've got hot sauces, yeah, that have flavor, add flavor to your dish, add a bit of heat, but add that. It's all about the flavor,
yeah,
and that's what your hot sauce brings. It brings a hell of a lot of flavor, plus it brings a little bit of heat with it too.
It's really fruity, isn't it?
That's the goal. It's the goal to be an everyday kind of sauce. You don't need a ton of it. You don't have to blow your head off. And if you want to blow your head off, you can add a drop of that other stuff to our stuff, but get bigger flavor out of something like our sauce.
Yeah, I mean, like, genuinely, and I'm not like just some freak who loves hot sauce, but the time that maybe I do like it a bit, but the time that I use it most is genuinely with breakfast. I have your bloody hell hot sauce with breakfast.
You had it this morning, didn't you?
Yeah, this morning, with some avocados and eggs, but it's just like that tends to be when I use it. It doesn't blow your head off. It's just full of flavor. It completely changes the dish, but brings that little bit of heat through. I mean, you want a little bit of chili with some avocado and eggs. I mean, that's what makes it complete. But also, it brings in it completely adapts the dish.
That's pretty much like a Latino culture kind of thing, where you wake up in the morning and you grab some of Grandma's leftover chili and eat it with eggs and toast and all the good things like that. But spice up the morning a little bit, I come from a big Latino family, although I'm the white boy of the family. I get teased a lot, and I don't have the name. Luckily, all my tweets have cousins with a bunch of Latino names, It's really good. But, it doesn't reflect my background, but I grew up with my grandmother in the kitchen making tortillas and things like that. And like you said, just chilies and things in the morning is really good. It's great with eggs and, fried eggs, omelets, everything.
Maybe I've got some Latino blood in me then. I'm not sure, because it sounds right up my street.
It's my goal to try to bring that to here. It's all over London, but it's not so much down here on the island. So yeah, it's a goal to kind of get a little bit more spice. It doesn't have to be blow your head off spice, but just a little bit more than a curry.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit more about that. So for the listeners that don't know your background, what is your background? Where are you from, and how is this sort of influenced?
I'm sorry, I'm from Oakland, California, which is across from San Francisco Bay. My background, like I said, I grew up in a Latino family in Oakland. I ended up in a taqueria, a family taqueria, Lorenzo Taqueria. As a kid, about 15, I think I was there for a couple of years cooking. So I took what my grandmother taught me. Also, my father taught me a lot about country cooking, and just kind of blended the two together. Growing up, I like to cook real quick, but also have a lot of flavor in it. I kind of pride myself on how fast we can get it out and just get it over with and get back to work, kind of thing. So anyway, I grew up there. I'm sorry, I'm rambling pretty fast. Grew up in Oakland. Then after the taqueria, I went off to a different genre, working for the government, building things, science projects like Star Wars and things like that, shooting lasers in the sky and stuff.
Awesome.
And
Sounds
then,
cool.
I went to Japan, met my wife's two Japanese friends, then ended up having her with me in California for a while. And then we decided to have kids, and I said, let's try it in England a little bit. Might be a little bit safer. I don't mean to be rude to my fellow Americans, but it's just a really good place to be here, in England.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at now. It's just kind of, I'm kind of a mutt. I'm all over the world kind of a person, and this is kind of what the sauce is. I've taken really authentic Caribbean style and turned it into a British style, so that the British like a little bit more. It is more on the sweet side, but it's not sweet, saying that.
Yeah, and you've picked the Isle of Wight, of all places, to chill,
which is also
cool.
There was a family flat here, which we're still in. We're looking for a house now, but we were staying in a flat here just to figure out where we're gonna live, and we liked it here. We didn't want to go back to the mainland. My wife's from Surrey, from Farnham, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. It is like going back in the past. It's really safe, and it just like right now, I'm looking out the window watching just kids walking by themselves. Where I'm from, it's kind of unheard of.
Yeah. I mean, the Isle of Wight is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Been over there a couple of times, love it. And we were actually, just funnily enough, we're actually in Farnham at the weekend at the Big Meat Festival, which is in Farnham, which is James Lowe, JL Butchers, and Leo organised that. We had a wicked time at that. That's in Farnham, so we were just where the wife's from.
Yeah, my first time there. Nice little town.
I love it up there. But it's a little bit more expensive. That's another reason why it's nice on the island, because London isn't creeping towards it so fast.
Yeah.
Been sucking everybody in and making the higher prices, But then there's a downfall of being, marooned on the island when you need to get up to the city, and it's just, it's an expedition to get off and on sometimes. So,
is it ferries? Is that the main route across?
Yeah, there's the ferries and driving up and the congestion charges, and you just want to go up and say hi to somebody real quick. It at first started with wanting to do that, like my friends in San Francisco, and now it's like, I'd like to go up and see like Steve West up in London. But it's like, Steve, I got to plan a whole expedition around this.
Sure, it's worth it though, because he's a great guy to go meet.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So how did let's go on to Steve's a great guy. Steve's a absolute. If you think of like a butcher, like it's Steve that you think of. He's like your old school sort of classic butcher from London. Yeah,
he's like a Looney Tunes drawing of a butcher in London. It's like you see Bugs Bunny running around him. He's a good guy. And I keep trying to get him to. I know somebody has to be out there to give him his own show, because I'd love to watch him. I was trying to bug Gizzy this morning about trying to get him set up with a show. I think they'd be good together.
Yeah, definitely. He's so recognisable, and he's got such a good attitude for it, and really entertaining guy. And
when I first met him was with Christian in Bristol, and he said, "Oh, this guy's a big Raider fan." I was like, "Oh, really cool." And then he lifts his shirt and shows a tattoo I was like, oh my god, it's weird. It's a weird world.
Yeah, no, he messaged me saying I had to bring up the Raiders today at some point, so I'm glad you did. So that's it. We've done it now.
Yeah.
So are you a big Raiders fan?
Pardon?
Are you a big Raiders fan as well?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Oakland, so you have to be, I think. There was a period when they left, and then some of the people jumped off and went across the bay to San Francisco, but I didn't. And so they still talk about moving. I don't care where they move. I'll still be a fan. And after this many years, I don't have the tattoo that like Steve. And he has two of them now too. You got to give him props. And he got one in Bangkok. You know, there's got to be a story behind that I haven't heard yet.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll try and drag that one out of him at some point.
Keep a note of that for future.
Yeah, I'd like to see his pictures when he goes over there too. Because some really nice food. Oh, bringing that up, Asian food. I like to use the hot sauce in an Asian style way a lot, not just like a Mexican kind of thing. You know, that I kind of use like a normal everyday Latino kind of way, where you just use a little sprinkle here and there, and tortillas wrapped with stuff, you know, leftovers. But I use it a lot with soy sauce and ginger and garlic and things like that, and make a kind of Asian sauce out of it. It's really nice. Mm. Yeah, and just bringing up his pictures remind me of that. There's not enough of that on the island down here. Not enough Asian food like that.
Yeah, no, that sounds wicked. I can definitely see that working well.
It goes well with like so many things, doesn't it? We're seeing it in so many places, like so many people posting different recipes and stuff that they've used.
Yeah,
it's a very, very versatile sort.
It's really cool the way that people repost things too. I like it saves me, especially wake up like, oh, I don't have any pictures today, you know. And I love to put pictures out on Instagram. It's really fun. And then I'll look at the feed and have somebody posted their dish, and it looks so good. This morning, you guys had Daniel had this dish. It was so nice. I was like, oh, that saves me because I don't have anything to put out. You know? So it happens a lot. It's good. And then you got a local following, kind of family feeling out of it all. It's really nice. I like it. Mm. It's getting harder to know who's who, though. And it's like after 3,000 people I follow back, I don't see as much, and I don't always remember people's real names to their handle names online. You know, so I've met a couple people like, oh yeah, I'm so and so. Like, oh okay, yeah.
What's your Instagram name?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh yeah, exactly. Let me see your pictures. Oh yeah, I know you.
Yeah, no, seriously, it gets like that. Seriously, yeah, no. I'm like, even like with certain stuff, like a lot of people don't actually have a picture of them attached to their social media. So like we were at the big meet, and like guys come up to us, or even like even on this sort of thing, you don't see people. You're on this side of the radio, you don't see people that listen. And they're like, listen to your show, blah, 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 blah. And you're talking for like a half an hour, and then you're like, oh, sorry, what's your, like, because you don't know them. You don't know who they are. And it's like, and then, or even like you said, like with social media, they don't have pictures of themselves. So you're like, oh, so what's, and then as soon as you say they're like, oh, I'm like whoever at this, and then, yeah. I remember.
We chatted to you for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't put out too many selfies so people don't know what I look like unless you go searching through and figure it out. So I do see that they do that with me, but
we know what you look like.
Fame though, you know.
We know what you look like.
So easy.
You know, we had an epic night with you at Grill Stock. That was the first time we met. You were with Steve at the Grill Stock book launch, and we were doing shots of Test Tube Bloody Hell Hot Sauce along with shots of everything else.
Paid for it the next morning.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I crashed on Johnny Boots' couch that night. He would let me walk the streets for the night. I said, I'll be fine. I'm just going to go home slowly. And he, no, you're crashing on my couch. So, woke up and drifted home in the morning, half awake. That was a good party, yeah.
So the sauce, when we first tasted the sauce there at the Grill Stock book launch party, I was just like really amazed at how fruity the sauce was, because a lot of hot sauces don't tend to have that touch of it. I know we've mentioned the flavour before, but it really is, because my wife's not into hot sauces at all, but she loves this one. She's just like, that isn't like any other hot sauce I've had. So do you get that a lot, that you're getting a lot of people that aren't normally like hot sauce fans that are finding that they love your hot sauce?
First I think they get confused of because it's not over thickened with stuff. You do have to shake it up; it separates, but it is more of a natural, like a salsa kind of pour thing. And people over here don't always know what to do with it. Like, how do I cook with it? Because it doesn't come out like a ketchup, in a pasty kind of way. So they don't just baste something with it and let it stick on it, So they don't know how to use it. So I have to tell them how to use it a little bit. Just cook with it and infuse it in your dishes. But then it's also not as fruity as more sauces are here in the UK. So so you have to get over that. It's a little fruitiness, but it has that bite that people look at you like, oh, what'd you just do to me, and then it goes away, and then they go, oh, it's still good though, they still taste the good fruits and the garlics and stuff like that in it.
Yeah,
there's secret spices in there too that I haven't told anybody about. We do list it as spices, but there's a couple ties in there that tie in the hot and the sweet that I think work. That I'm not giving up.
Oh, you told us you could give away the full recipe today.
No.
I like to cook with it, and I like it as a finishing sauce. I mean, like it's definitely both. You can put it in the recipe and cook with it, or again, like I said, use it as a finishing sort of sauce to drizzle on top of something. But I quite often do both. So I'll cook with it and then finish with it again. So get like a double hit. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. Something that I did recently was. I was like trying to make I love a Bloody Mary. I'm really into a Bloody Mary, so I made a Bloody Hell Bloody Mary and sort of smoked the tomato juice and stuff like that. It's a pretty epic one. It goes with barbecue, just absolutely perfect. So we're doing a video with that one, and that will be out soon. I would go further into it, but I don't want to ruin the video. So keep an eye out for that one, guys.
But since we both got a bottle, we've been using it in so many different recipes now. It's crazy how we find it just works so well with different things. I think you saw my post the other day where I did a Bloody Hell dirty burger sauce.
Yeah, that was nice too.
So that was a real simple one, really. It's just like a bit of mayonnaise, some mustard, some paprika, a bit of garlic, salt, and then some Bloody Hell hot sauce in there. And it just makes like a really, really awesome, spicy but cooling, because you've got the mayo there. Nice burger sauce.
Oh, the bloody hell mayo is what I use the most, probably at home, because I don't know, something about it. It's creamy, but it's spicy, and so it goes on like emergency, frozen chicken in the freezer or something like that. Oh, don't have any food left, and I look in there and I have my emergency little cutlets, and just it looks so cheap and. But it tastes so good. It's like going out in the middle of the night after you've been drinking with your buds, and just the cheapest food with that spicy creaminess just hits the spot,
So the recipe for this, had this been something you developed like years, and when you came over here to the UK, you were like bringing a recipe with you, or have you developed it when you got here? I
had to develop it here. It's basically it used to be a fresh habanero. Green and more dark orange habaneros, but charred on the barbecue, and then hand stripped. Really time consuming and just expensive actually too, because when you add up that pepper, but the pepper cost. But when you go to a production batch, you have to change a lot of stuff. You have to figure out how to keep a consistent pepper taste and tomato taste. So I have to buy tomatoes now and let them sit so many days until I see the right color, and then they can be thrown into a batch. These are small batches. There's about 120 bottles a batch, so it's different from going from a kitchen batch to that many bottles. All the ingredients and how you source them has to change a little bit, and you have to keep your costs down. Otherwise, you can't do it. Otherwise, if I would have done the original recipe, I couldn't make any money at it. So you basically have to try to figure out how you do this in bulk, and how do you get the peppers that are the same ripeness each time, and your tomatoes and everything like that, So people see the pretty much the same bottle every time.
Yeah, 'cause it's got to be tough. If I buy from the same supplier, like anything, I mean, talking meat for one, or talking jalapenos or whatever, or like even just fruit and stuff. Every time, like each one's different. Each one. It's flavored, even if it's from the same tree. It's like so weird, like how it must be so difficult getting that consistency. Yeah,
I think that's why I'm trying to keep it to show people that it's basically getting a homemade batch. It's a big batch, but it is homemade, and we try to keep it consistent so that if your next batch you order, next bottle might be about 10 batches later, but we still want it to look and taste the same. Not many people will notice the color will change slightly from different batches. But I notice it. It bothers me, Actually, Johnny, last year at the Big Fest was teasing me because I was like, oh no, we can't put those two batches together because I noticed like a slight shade difference, and he was teasing me all week, and he kept teasing me about that. But yeah, it is difficult, but I think it's just my engineering background came in. I just did it as a hobby, but figured out how to do it bigger because I'm used to building things. Before I did this on the island here, I built radiation detectors, and then went into this as a hobby. But I just approached it as an engineering project, basically, on the side, and just did it in my head and on my phone, basically. I'm actually going to get an iPhone 5 next, because I do this all on iPhone 4, basically.
Wow.
Sit there and figure it out.
I remember those.
I'm having a beer at night.
So you like the official taste tester then? Once you've made a batch, are you tasting it, making sure it's up to the standards?
I'm the one that tastes it. I'm the one that gets it in the eye. I have my arms covered with it, and they feel like tattoos in the shower.
Is that part of the testing, is it?
No, that's just part of it. Being in the atmosphere all the time. Yeah, I do. I have my hands in every batch. So, yeah, I'm the guy. And you do have to taste it at the end to make sure something didn't change. And there isn't a batch that you don't question, did you forget something? That drives me nuts.
I bet.
But it's just a natural, over obsession with things that I think is helping to keep the consistency also.
Yeah, but I think that's, again, what adds to it and makes it special. It's not in some factory in some massive, huge vat being mixed by some guy who doesn't have a clue about hot sauce. Do you know what I mean? You put it in a factory and some guy who's never even tasted hot sauce in his life could be just mixing up whatever list of ingredients, whereas you've got a guy who's in his home who's making up, whose passion is just bloody hell hot sauce, and he's the one who designed it, he made it up, he created this sauce, and he's the one that's in there. So you're talking about this love going into each batch. He's really, do you mean that's the difference there? Yeah,
it is like selling little bits of artwork that you've put your hands in. And I do care about every bottle. Like if something gets lost for a while, and especially the U.S. Customs, they're so bad. But I get worried about every bottle, and I don't know if that gets over to the people, but it does bother me. So I try to solve every problem I can right away, and try to get a nice bottle to everybody and make everybody happy. It does make you feel good too at the end of the day, knowing that there's people out there who put the dishes they show you, and it can be just a simple frozen meal to something fancy, in the city happening. It's a really great feeling to be part of people's lives like that.
Yeah, and you're very much like you're keeping it real. You're a very family-related business, aren't you? You're all working together to do this.
Yeah, it's all family. My wife helps me a tremendous amount, and so Rosie, hi Rosie, and and even my kids, they come in there. Max and Grace, she's 6 and she's 3. They come in and they try to label and stuff, so I have to set them up with their own little section, and then inspect them and redo them later. I hope they don't hear this, but everybody gets involved, and we're just trying to also show that on the Instagram is kind of our main hub out to the different medias, but it's just kind of accentuating the fact that we are a small island, small family, small business, but it looks big to some people, and that's not really the goal. But it's not something I want to shy away from, because we do want to get bigger and bigger, of course. But I don't want to take away the family aspect that we have now, for later down the road. I just want to keep that hands-on kind of feeling. And the way that these bottles are shaped, and each one is slightly different in itself also. I'm not sure. You have to order a few of them to notice it, but there's slight differences in each bottle themselves. So they can't just be put down on a conveyor belt and loaded up with a machine. It has to be hand done.
Is that the actual shape of the bottle you mean itself?
Yeah, the actual shape of the bottle. Some stems, they're not perfect. Sometimes the stem is slightly askew, and the backs are a little bit different. I notice all these things, maybe nobody else does, But I notice it because that's how my head thinks in engineering is. How can I shoot these down a thing real fast and load them up with a filler, automatic filler? But you really can't because they're just slightly off. So they have to be hand done.
Yeah, the skull bottle shape's like very iconic of the bloody hell hot sauce, isn't it? Has that been that from the beginning, or did you originally just have it in like a standard bottle and then you developed this, or is it like I found this bottle and I need to now put some sauce in it?
The original bottle was I've changed the bottle just to any kind of cool bottle as I went, just as a hobby, and sent it back. I only did maybe up to 20 at a time. And fairly large bottles also, like this one is pretty large, it's 400 mils. And I did a different, like apothecary-style skull bottle, but I think you've seen this one online in different places, and also the other one is just, you have to accumulate them by thousands to actually claim them, to make them yours. I think I'm doing that here. But the old bottle was so much more expensive, and that's the one I sent over to Christian. DJ Barbecue, a.k.a. DJ Barbecue. And then he said, that's a great idea. And I said, yeah, but you couldn't make any money doing that. And so then I just put it off to the side. And then Gizzy put a picture out of the bottle, and people went nuts right away. And I said, I have to do something, because it's a good sign,
Yeah, Gizzy's absolutely awesome. Really big on the scene, so that's a really cool shout out there.
Yeah, she's way cool. She has one of the best pictures from last year's fest. Her kissing the bottle. I like to use that. Bring that one in the throwbacks.
Yeah, I just had to give it.
I was working in China basically, and used for engineering, and used basically my translator to help me find connections. And I started talking to different business people there, and to form a business relationship to get the bottles and things like that. So yeah, you have to do all that kind of work if you want to go into heavy production. But it makes sense. If you can get the bottle at the same price you get a plain Worcester bottle, might as well go for it.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, wicked.
I don't like it to be the only gimmick, though. And every hot sauce person does have some sort of gimmick. They have a name, or they have the label, and sometimes it's a bottle, and sometimes it's all of it. And but you do want to buy and eat the sauce, so it feels good that I get a lot of return purchasing. It's good.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, like the bottle. Once you've used it, if you've only ordered for the bottle, then you've got it. So if people are coming back, it's the sauce that's doing the trick.
Yeah.
And it definitely is a sauce.
My wife named it because I usually named it something Spanish and usually on the jokey side and stuff, and so she said, just name it something more English, because you've been here a long time. And so then she said, name it Bloody Hell. That's what everybody says when they first taste it anyway. And I can't get any more British than that. And it's in the naughty side. I said, yeah, that sounds good. And so then I registered it. And that's another reason why I did this is everything's so easy and free here. All the inspections are free. The only thing I pay for is insurance and a class, for culinary stuff, classes. But everything's so easy and free. So I said, well, I might as well glorify this hobby, and so I registered it. And they left me a couple messages saying, we're not sure if we can put this, through the system. And then they finally called back and said, no, it's okay now. It's because of the swear words. I said, everybody's grandmother here uses that word every other minute, It's funny.
Yes.
It's just the British word, bloody hell. Yeah. Bloody hell.
My kid has a little T-shirt made up, and he feels real self-conscious, and he walks around town with it on, because one of the teachers might see him downtown with it. He goes to Catholic school.
Max being 6, I'm sure that he's going to be coming up with his own recipe soon, or tweaking Dad's and making it a little bit better, I think, maybe.
So he's got a T-shirt. Can anyone else get a T-shirt? So you getting Bloody Hell Hot Sauce T-shirts or not? I'm
working on those T-shirts. I've been working on them for a year, but you have to sort capital and everything. I had to sort all my accounts before merchandise. So I'm actually doing that right now. I just put a tweet out yesterday with a kind of a Raider Shield style But I just had to do few more tweaks on that. I think that's one we'll put out first, and I'll get those out hopefully in the next couple of weeks. We'll do that. And then we'll go from there and see what kind of merchandise we can accumulate. It's kind of hard to do our logo. When I designed the logo, I did all that. I put too many shades in it, so it doesn't break down to a silk screen very well. And when it does get broken down to single colors, it doesn't look so good. So we have to print on like a polys and stuff like that, poly shirts. But they're real comfortable shirts, but they have to be white to really stand out. All these things you figure out as you go along. Well, I made a mistake a little bit back there, but we'll have to deal with it someday.
That's all part of the learning curve of having like a family business, isn't it?
Yeah. You can't just rush out and just do it when there's not, millions in the bank behind you. But it's kind of nice not having that. Nobody's directing this into some big conglomerate, thing.
You got some good news recently. A brand has taken on the hot sauce as well.
Oh yeah.
So who is that?
Another big breast recognition conglomerate. Harvey Nicks.
Wow.
Yeah, wicked.
Oh yeah.
How did that come about then?
They found me actually. Kelly from Harvey Nicks found me mostly through my Instagram, I believe. There might be some connections in between with other people, in the food circle up in London. But that was just a nice out of the blue, and they've been so helpful. They take care of everything, and it's really nice. So it's nice to see what's going to happen. For I don't know. It's kind of hard because I have like this build up of normal, just everyday people like us, and then you got this other kind of hired, posh genre coming in now. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, but when you go into Harvey Nicks and you go into their food sort of area, and they have such a wide variety. They do have a wide variety of stuff there that's available, and some pretty cool bits and pieces, and it's cool because they're quite select with what they pick, and they've chosen you to represent there as well.
Oh, it feels great. But to be honest, I never heard of them before they contacted me, and when I was reading the email, my wife said I was joking, like, yeah. And I said, so you know them? And she's like, yeah, I know them, And I said, oh, okay. And so I started talking to them. I had no clue, and so I just went online and looked, and oh, okay, it's nice. And so yeah, I still haven't been there. I only shopped online. I haven't shopped, I haven't purchased anything. But I have to go up there and see what's up, because I guess it's in every one of the shops in the UK right now. So
awesome.
It'd be cool to do a tour and get a picture of each one, send it back to Mom.
Yeah. Now their store in London is incredible, and they've got one just up the road actually in Bristol, which isn't too far from us. There's a Harvey Nicks, and they've got a few dotted around the country, so it'll be a bit of a tour for you. You can have some fun.
Yeah, I'll have to put out a treasure hunt picture thing or something for people to take shots for me and give them back something. Yeah, it sounds good.
It's available in other shops as well, or is that the only like?
Yeah. We're mostly the only other one in London. It's a Fat Walrus, the pub. It's a nice pub over there, family kind of style pub, and they sell skulls, and they use the sauce a lot more than they actually sell. It's really nice. I love when the people use it a lot. There's a lot of island accounts I have, though. I got the Busy Bee Garden Center, all places you wouldn't think a garden center would sell, but it's different over here than it is back in America. The garden centers are kind of like a big, almost like a mall, over here. We can kind of get a little bit of everything.
It's one of those things like garden centers over here. I've heard it on the radio the other day. They were talking about it. It's just like people actually just like going to them. It's like their day off. People go to a garden center.
It's like the weirdest thing. My mother-in-law is a garden center. I don't want to finish that sentence off, but she just loves garden centers. She does like the whole thing. Like every day off, I'm like, wow, what have you done? She had a day off. What have you done today? We went to the garden center, and I'm like, what? You just went yesterday, or?
You get everything you eat there, food, and it's nice. It's a different.
Yeah, they're just going for a cup of tea. They've gone to the garden centre for a cup of tea. I mean, it's like 10 miles away. So many cafes in
Costa's
between.
down the road.
Oh, that's funny. We got a good one over here, God's Hill Cider. That's a little shack that sells really nice ciders and stuff, and they go through tons of the bottles. Right now they have so many tourists that come in that it's a little town that does really good until, end of the autumn, and then just shuts down for the winter, but it's good while it lasts. And we have House of Chili. It's a really big chili house, like a warehouse full of just all kinds of hot sauces and stuff. And it's really rare to see that, I think, especially when I'm here on the island. So when I came across that was really good.
It sounds like you've taken over the island then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to get everywhere, every little corner.
You'll be the mayor of Isle of Wight soon.
I don't know if they'll let me.
He's up for it though. Yeah. He's up for it. I just think we
put his name out there.
Yeah, we're just gonna put it out there. Bobby's up for it.
I'll do it. What the hell?
Yeah. Get you some big medallion. You have to change it to like a Raiders medallion though, or something like that.
Or just a big skull.
I'm gonna walk around looking with a devil suit on all the time and
Sounds wicked.
Maybe it won't work.
What else? We got also out here Tapmill Farm. I got a list here. Tapmill Farm, that's a really good one. White Leather Craft, of all places, a leather shop, but a lot of not biker guys, but guys in leather like to eat hot
sauce. Those are jazzy sauces.
Oh, leather. Anyone who wears leather loves hot sauces. Part of it.
Ralvin's, we got a little shop here. It's really nice. So these another family, they're close to our hot sauce shop. Island Foods is a butcher shop, and those guys, they sell a lot too, which at first I didn't think it would do well, but lots of people are buying it just to put on the stuff. And then they made some really great sausages, and they put it in the sausages. It was really nice. So they do that once in a while. I'm on the mailing list to tell me when they're in, so I can go pick some up.
Awesome.
Then also a butcher in Hartford, G. Pickett Butcher. I'm not sure if you guys heard of them. I think the guys that Steve knows, I think. Phil's Diner, they use a lot of it over in Newport, White Rocks, Bottega. And over at the Speedway, we have a Speedway track where I have a big banner up, the Warriors, the Speedway racers. And they're all selling over there and also supporting, and I'm supporting them. It's good.
It's awesome. So it's available in plenty of places now.
Yeah. It'd be cool to be like the next Red Bull kind of sporting kind of sponsor. All in time, but it'd be good to be involved with stuff like that,
Bloody hell, hot sauce air race.
I got to take over the pier here and get people to drive off the pier with their flying and just, it'd be cool, huh?
Yeah, we'll have to do a selfie mid-air with a skull bottle.
I need to make a plastic or like a Nerf version so I don't get hurt so much.
You've really thought us through, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to fly it around on a drone and have it dangling in the picture, and get some really good drone shots of this skull dangling around the front and hanging there. But it's kind of heavy.
Yeah.
This sounds wicked. I hope this actually happens, and I can see this.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm really thinking about that too.
I'm sure you can do it. Amazon are delivering parcels with a drone, so sure you can.
Well,
carry
I don't know
a
if
bottle.
my insurance will cover getting hit in the head with a skull. If I knock something out there in public.
Just deny it.
Give it a shot.
It's quite a recognisable bottle, I suppose.
Yeah, hopefully it destroys as soon as it hits the ground. It wasn't me.
And people can also just buy it online from your website as well.
Yeah, you can buy it on the website, bloodyhellhotsauce.com. Cool. And you just click on, there's also a list of all the different places that it's at. And then, I guess I don't see any others on here. That's probably where you can
Awesome.
get it.
It's like such a popular hot sauce in the barbecue community. Did you expect that when you started? Did you think it was going to be so popular with barbecuers specifically?
No, I thought I'd get the Christian followers and stuff like that. But then I got a lot after that, and then after also I got a lot of prepper people, a lot of guys in the wilderness kind of guys, and they're all part of the barbecue genre. So it's like a feather edge of each genre that touches another genre that keeps happening. And for a while, it was all just the barbecue people. And I thought, there's it's kind of like a sausage party. It's all guys mostly. And then Kristen had it on the morning show last year, and then suddenly got tons of women buying it for their husbands and boyfriends and everybody, the fathers even.
And back to sausage again.
Literally, sausage party. So every little genre will touch off to another little genre, so it's really good right now. I'm trying to think what the latest people are. A lot of vegans lately, because it is suitable for vegans, and I didn't think that would attract so many people, but it really does. Especially breakfast people, like the vegans, they love to wake up and show you how good they're eating. Look at this, look at that. No bacon and stuff. But they comment, "Oh, that would look good. Give it bacon." I'm like, "Hey, come on, don't leave the vegans alone this morning."
I feel sorry for Neil. Neil Rankin just from he's opening up Temper, and he's getting a bit of stick from the vegans at the minute. He's had to put a few statuses up on Facebook this last couple of weeks, defending himself from a lot of vegans. But yeah, I'm just gonna put it out there that I'm feeling for him.
Yeah, I saw the big thing yesterday. I was like, I want to jump in there, but I can't because my wife's she's vegan right now. She's vegetarian all the time, but she's more vegan now. And my kids are vegetarians, and so I take a harassment in the kitchen, and they look up and see something, bacon or ribs and stuff like that. I try. I made it like a week before, but not that long. I try. I do think about it, but I'm like caveman instinct, so I can't get rid of those. It's hard.
So you have to cook a lot of stuff just for yourself, then? Yeah,
most of the pictures you see, that's either I'm eating it by myself. Once in a great while, somebody will come by, but it's usually what I'll eat all week, leftovers. So I can't do it every night because I don't eat like that because I can only cook it once, and then there's too much. So we do a lot of leftovers, but. Yeah, that's how I normally use the sauce, like an everyday kind of thing. Just the next day, throw it in a tortilla with some refried beans and cheese, and heat it up and hit the road.
Mm. Do you barbecue much yourself?
Yeah, I call guerrilla barbecuing. I have like a little kettle outside, but by the car, because I don't have a garden. I'm in a big flat, and so I'm out there usually in the cold. I call it guerrilla barbecuing out there by myself. And
yeah, sounds familiar.
In the elements. Yeah. And then we got the new drum smoker going, so that's really fun. But that's up at the shop. I cook up at the shop while I'm doing all the other stuff too. And that's really fun. It's really tricky. I did the smoked garlics recently, and it was really tough to get it so they didn't cook, and I had to keep the temperature really low in that barrel. And it's all one area like that in the barrel. It's really tough, but it was fun. It's a challenge.
Yeah. Have you tried using one of the ProQ cold smoke generators?
No, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Have a look at it. It's just like a maze type shape thing, and you put a candle to light it at one end, and then it just slowly trickles around the outside, and then it doesn't produce any heat. Then you just only get in cold smoke.
Yeah, that sounds really nice. I'll check that out because we like to do we like to have the smoked garlics and roast them after and then smear them in nice breads. But I'm not going to do that all day again too many times, because the garlics go too fast after you smoke them anyway. It's all day process, but it is fun sitting by the fire with a beer all day long.
Yeah, it can't beat that.
It's one of the best things.
Cool. So what's coming up in the future then for Bloody Hell Hot Sauce?
What's coming up? Well, next week we have festival. I'll be over there with Taste of the White. They're doing some kind of a cheese toasty. It's the anything cheese in a bread is kind of the British equivalent to a quesadilla. So and a lot of people use it that way, so it's good. So
yeah, cheese on toast is a British classic. Can't beat it.
Cheesy beans on toast. Woohoo.
Nah, I'm not with him. No, just cheese on toast with me. Yeah, that's the thing is that Worcestershire sauce is like the classic to splash on top of cheese on toast, but I'd pick Bloody Hell over that any day.
Yeah, nice. Appreciate that. Let's see, what else is going on? We're gonna be just, I think after that, we're just going to be trying to get ready for the holidays, and we usually get a big boost around the end of October. People start worrying about Christmas presents and stuff like that. And although I might be doing like a Dickens type fair, I'm not sure what you call them over here, over at the Ventnor with the guys from the Bistro with Andy Holloway. He's the one, I've seen pictures, so I do a couple different like kind of pop-in cooking things with them at his restaurant. But the first time we did, he does like a French Mediterranean style, really fancy kind of food. And we did infusions with the bloody hell into the sauce, into the foods with the sauce. And the people that normally come in, they knew that they were getting into that when they were really surprised that it wasn't overpowering and extremely hot. Especially when I brought them over the skull after they were eating and said, "This is what you're eating," and they hadn't seen the bottle before. And they're like, "Oh wow," So then the last time I did this, I said, "Let's do something more traditional." So we did the pulled pork tacos and stuff like that, and quesadillas, frittatas. It was really nice stuff. Pico de gallo and guacamole and stuff like that. Just
lush.
The normal.
Getting hungry now.
Yeah, nice jicama slaw you did. It was really nice. So it's cool too, also because I take something that's more. This is how I would do it back when I was a kid at the taqueria kind of thing, and then he'll throw in something a little bit more of the French Mediterranean and British style. Not so much British, but how he was raised, culinary schools and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you must be smashing out some awesome sort of Latino style food. I mean, I guess that. It must be amazing. I'm looking forward to one day getting to try some.
There's one that I like to do, the grilled pineapple and mango, and then you put the sauce on it with the raspberry hibiscus mixed together into a sauce, or a chocolate sauce we did. Just a really sweet, but with a hot aftertaste kind of thing going on. So it's nice to be involved with them where you can just kind of go in and experiment and have fun and then hit the road, and I don't even have to clean up either. just come in and do my thing and jam. It's nice, and trying to spread all over, like you're saying, the barbecue people, but also I'm trying to get over to different genres, food. I'm not a big food person. I know how to cook, like just make up things on the fly, but I'm not a big overeater kind of guy. I got to try this, got to try that. So it's kind of interesting new genre to be in, actually.
Yeah, me neither. I don't eat anything, to be honest.
That's how he maintains his optimum shape and performance.
Yeah. People actually, when the Olympics are on, it's quite weird. People mistaking me for Tom Daley all the time. Because I'm just so slender and little. But yeah, it's just that I'm not really into food that much.
You can do an awesome bomb.
One I tried, I like to try little weird things. I'm going to do a pumpkin pie cheesecake with the bloody hell swirl in there. But I did a bloody limey, I called it. I took some Doritos lime soda. I'm not sure if you can get a lime soda here. It's still really lime tasting. I got it from the Mexican groceries when I was buying tortillas, corn tortillas, which are hard to find, especially on the island. Nice corn tortillas.
I'm going to put it out there. There's a guy in Dublin. I'm not going to remember the name of his company now, but if you type into like Google like corn tortillas made in Europe even, but they're made in Dublin anyway. So if you type that into Google, he's the only person in Europe producing real corn tortillas. Nice. He opened up like a street food, sort of Latino street food company in Ireland going back sort of like 10 years, and realised that he'd just been travelling like South America, came back, set this up, and realised that how awful our tortillas are over here. So then he thought, well, the only way he's going to get them is by making them himself, and that's what he's done. And he's putting out some awesome tortillas. So check him out, people.
I saw that on Neil Rankin's post also. He's going to be doing that in his restaurant. And anytime I see corn tortillas anywhere here, I like it because it's kind of more of an authentic flavor than the flour. The flour is kind of just wrap it up and go kind of burrito thing. But the corn is really good for like a taco. It just makes it a step better. So I took that the lime and did some just a dash of the hot sauce, the bloody hell, and then some rum, and made a nice, refreshing but hot aftertaste drink. so I'm trying to experiment with drinks. So they like to get a Bloody Mary mix out there also eventually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There's I've just found out the guy. The company's called Blanco Nino, and it's Philip Martin. Is it Phil Martin? Yeah, Philip Martin, and the company's Blanco Nino, and based in Dublin. But yeah, they're like an authentic sort of corn tortilla, so they're worth checking out, people. Now I've got this Bloody Mary recipe coming out, so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. See what you think. It's a pretty cool one, bit of a twist on the traditional sort of Bloody Mary, but it definitely hits a spot.
That's nice. Looking forward to that. I love, that's another thing I love, is that so many people have done so many different videos and reviews and everything good. Nobody's dogged us before. I've only had one bad guy. That's it. And it's just nice, like free advertising is what I'm trying to say. It's really good. It's a proper word of mouth kind of advertising, and it stays positive that way, which is good. So I like that.
Awesome. Well, Bobby, we're approaching our hour mark now, and we'd like to bring it into a close now. I think we could chat to you for ages and ages.
Yeah, I ramble a lot too.
No. It's been great fun chatting to you. Thanks for being on today's show.
Thank you.
Could you just let all our listeners know like where they can find you, website, Twitter, Instagram, all the rest of them?
Yeah, just hit bloodyhellhotsauce.com for our online orders. You can also find our links to Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, I believe. I use mostly the Instagram, so that has the better feed, the prettier food pictures and things like that as my main hub out to the other medias. But you can, I wouldn't even know how to tell you how to find us on the other addresses.
You'll find it. If you want to find it, you can find it.
Type in that skull bottle I keep hearing about.
Cool. Well, thanks for being on today's show.
Yeah, awesome, bro. Thank you very much.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate this.
Cheers. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Catch you soon. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We've recorded yet another awesome podcast to get you over hump day. As always, we're brought to you by ProQ, BBQ Gourmet and Smokewood Shack, our awesome sponsors. ProQ is dedicated to providing you with quality smoking products with top-notch service and free advice for beginners or pitmasters. You can find them on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram under ProQ Smokers. So if you think about buying your first smoker or looking to upgrade or even looking to pick up some epic accessories, check them out over at Max Barbecue. And BBQ Gourmet is devoted to promoting real barbecue and supplying the UK and Europe with top championship winning rubs, sauces, marinades and accessories from the United States and around the world. You can find them on Twitter and online under BBQ Gourmet. So regardless of how you cook, whether it's on charcoal, wood, gas or electric, the real taste of summer can be yours all year round. And finally, Smokewood Shack delivers quality smoking wood every time. They provide the smoky goodness, you provide the talent. So if you're looking for smoking wood chunks, dust, planks, chips, then head on over to smokewoodshack.com. You can find them on Twitter and at Smokewood Shack. So goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
See you later.
Ciao.
Bye. Bye.
I'm a much better cook than barbecue.
No.